How's it going, everybody? My name's Ben from the Ben and Bev channel. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel's What If, Episode 9.
What if the Watcher broke his oath?
Quick spoiler warning before we get started. If you haven't watched the rest of the season so far, do not watch this review because we talk about every other part of the season.
After seeing Ultron's rise to power in last week's episode and beginning to possess the Infinity Stones and destroy all these multiverses, the Watcher decides to team up with the evil version of Doctor Strange and start his own version of the Avengers in a way.
Guardians of the Multiverse.
He likes to call it.
He selects heroes from all of the different universes we've seen so far in What If, as well as a character from a universe we didn't get to see at all.
There's this version of Gamora from a universe where there's the Sakaar armor Tony Stark, something that was teased in a Lego set, but honestly hasn't been in this season at all, and I'm just kind of shocked why there's a Lego set of it if we're not going to be seeing it. Maybe it's in Season 2. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting to see the Watcher interact with these characters and kind of guide them in the same way Nick Fury guides the Avengers. Even more intriguing to see the way these characters interact, as their chemistry is really fluid. Voice cast did a phenomenal job of coming off with the same tone and feel of your normal Avengers, these alternate version of our characters. Even though most of the characters only have a couple lines in the episode, with a short runtime and heavy action and animated sequences, lines that are delivered really feel in character and appropriate for the moment, unlike some of the clunkier dialogue earlier in the season. This episode is for sure the strongest. Even though I said that about last week, I think this one really successfully closed out the whole season and really makes for an impactful final act.
A series that's otherwise been hodgepodge as a whole.
We have a phenomenal returning voice cast with Michael B. Jordan as King Killmonger, a posthumous performance from Chadwick Boseman as Star-Lord T'Challa, Hayley Atwell returning as Captain Carter, Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, Chris Hemsworth as Party Thor, and Benedict Cumberbatch doing the voice of that evil version of Doctor Strange, who in this episode is a little more fleshed out of a character as he's seen the full extent of his tragedy and the destruction of his own universe. Hiding in solitude this whole time, he really seems to have a new view, really seems to want to help the Watcher, which I thought was interesting. He was a character I didn't think was going to stay good when he joined this team, but he seems to stay true to what the Watcher needs and just wants to live in peace and in solitude at the end of the day. It's also cool to see these different takes of these characters' big Infinity War level fight with a bad guy, because the different powers that they bring to the table work really well in this animation style when they are fighting Ultron, and it lasts the whole episode, so I don't really want to talk too much about the action because it's
Phenomenal.
Infinity Stones from different universes used, the level of power that Doctor Strange brings really adds a different dynamic to this episode and a sense of
Immensity.
it's been lacking in this series. There's also this phenomenal and really creative sequence during the Ultron fight where there's an Infinity Stone bouncing around and the camera's focused on the stone and you just see the characters trying to grab for it in the background as they fight over it. The effective way to bring you into the animation and have you get completely lost in it and forget it's even animated at all. I've meandered with some of these plot lines before. They definitely are more impactful now. These alternate versions of these characters really do have to be the way they are for them to be picked by the Watcher to end up in this situation. The season as a whole has a really choppy feel. Some episodes the voice acting really carries it, and others the voice acting isn't really present enough with the action sequences that are there. Sometimes the animation comes off a little wooden and a little amateurish, especially in the first chunk of episodes. But if you get through the initial issues you may have with it, I think a lot of the stories lying underneath, as well as some of the performances within them, really show what this animated Marvel is capable of doing. Really satisfying arc that ties all these multiversal characters together, tied together so beautifully that it really saved the show for me. Rating for season 1 of Marvel's What If is an 8.1 out of 10. What did you guys think of the season finale? Let us know in the comments below.